Der Chaos Computer Club hat Festplatten zugespielt bekommen, auf denen sich ein kleines Programm befindet, und nachdem sich die Hacker das einmal genauer angeschaut haben, gehen sie davon aus, dass sie eine staatliche Schadsoftware vor sich haben, einen Staatstrojaner. Was macht er überhaupt? Er überwacht offenbar Webbrowser, Online-Telefonieprogramme wie Skype, Mail- und Chatprogramme und macht Screenshots, wenn sich so ein Programm im Vordergrund befindet. Außerdem geht der CCC davon aus, dass er sich an verschlüsselten Telefoniediensten wie Skype zu schaffen macht. Das ist nämlich der offizielle Grund dafür, dass es einen Staatstrojaner überhaupt geben darf. Zur Überwachung von Telekommunikationen an der Quelle, bevor sie so verschlüsselt verschickt wird, dass man sie kaum noch überwachen kann. Eine kleine Rückblende. Eigentlich könnte ein Staatstrojaner noch viel mehr machen. Das im Rechner eingebaute Mikro anschalten und im Raum mithören, zum Beispiel. Oder warum nicht gleich die eingebaute Webcam? Er könnte jede Tastatureingabe notieren oder die Festplatte durchsuchen oder. Das Bundesverfassungsgericht hat 2008 erklärt, dass die heimliche Ausforschung von Computern erheblich in Grundrechte der Ausgespähten eingreifen kann und sogar in den absolut geschützten Kernbereich privater Lebensgestaltung, an den der Staat nicht heran darf. Beispielsweise zählt ein privates Tagebuch zu diesem Kernbereich. Dass eine heimlich eingeschaltete Webcam in einer Privatwohnung irrsinnig private Dinge aufzeichnen kann, ist aber auch klar. Der Staatstrojaner soll also nur nach richterlicher Genehmigung und unter engen Voraussetzungen nur die Telekommunikation überwachen, sagen die Behörden, so wie früher schon ein Telefon angezapft wurde. Der kann aber noch mehr, sagt der CCC. Eine besonders gut getarnte Funktion macht es möglich, dass Daten aus dem Internet geladen, auf dem infizierten Computer abgelegt und ausgeführt werden. Und damit kann der Staatstrojaner all die Dinge nachladen, wie eine Raumüberwachung per Mikro, das Speichern aller Tastatureingaben, eine heimliche Durchsuchung der Festplatte und mehr. Wie bekommt der Staatstrojaner dieses Kommando? Er hört auf einen bestimmten Rechner, mit dem er in Kontakt bleibt. Der steht in den USA. Was der Trojaner dorthin schickt, ist verschlüsselt, aber diese ganze Konstruktion ist aus Sicht der CCC-Experten stümperhaft. Die Kommandos gehen unverschlüsselt an den Staatstrojaner und der prüft auch nicht, ob es sich um den richtigen Absender handelt. Wer dem Staatstrojaner vorgaukelt, er sei der Kontrollrechner, kann selbst Kommandos schicken. Eine riesige Sicherheitslücke. Umgekehrt kann jemand so tun, als sei er der überwachte Computer und gefälschte Beweise an die Kontrollstelle übermitteln. Apropos Beweise, der Staatstrojaner kann mit der Nachladefunktion nicht nur weitere Überwachungskomponenten an den ausgespähten Rechner schicken. Er kann dort auch belastende Dokumente ablegen und anschließend seine eigenen Spuren verwischen. Damit ist die Beweissicherheit natürlich dahin.
Sag mal, welche Körbchengröße hast du eigentlich?
Was?
Marie hat Körbchengröße 75.
Wie Sie sich ein sicheres Passwort merken, ist Ihr Geheimnis. Wichtig, mindestens 8 Zeichen, groß und klein, inklusive Zahlen und Sonderzeichen. Mehr zum Thema sicheres Passwort auf sicherimnetz.de.
The ability to collect high-resolution aerial data is changing the way the world approaches business. From agriculture to oil and gas, aerial imagery is helping leaders make better decisions than ever before. And for the first time, there exists a cost-effective, reliable solution to achieve this: Precision Hawk.
The difference between Precision Hawk and other companies, I think, in the space really boil down to 2 key differences. One is the ease of use, and 2 is guaranteeing the data quality coming into the pipeline.
When you have better data in business, you make better decisions.
And Precision Hawk provides the ability for people to collect data more accurately than ever before. They have more choices on the type of data they collect, and they can do it as often as they want.
We want it to be as easy as possible for the user to use it. At the same time, the processing that's happening in the back end, it's very sophisticated.
Precision Hawk delivers data faster and more accurately than ever before. We're solving the needs of big data by making the transfer and storage process streamlined and more secure.
One, it reduces cost, right? If you take the human being out of the middle of having to check every piece of survey data, it reduces costs for big companies. Two, it increases speed.
For markets such as agriculture that are in dire need of cost-effective methods to examine performance in crops, Precision Hawk data collection is changing the game.
Certainly we've done a lot of work recently in big ag. Do they change seeds? Do they use more fertilizer, less fertilizer? That information helps them from a business side make the decisions as to what's going to increase their yield, what's going to maybe decrease their expenses, and give them a more successful product at the end.
The lightweight and durable Precision Hawk platform is loaded with intelligence that brings your data to life without a UAV operator. And in remote areas, the waterproof platform offers the flexibility to take off and land on water. Precision Hawk flights can be monitored from company headquarters or in the field using a smart device, and data is immediately uploaded for secure automated processing in the cloud.
What Precision Hawk is doing is by building a platform that allows anyone to use that platform for their application and to tailor it to their application. It's a win-win.
Sort through and share imagery by simply signing into your secure Precision Hawk portal from anywhere. View both raw and processed data to determine your best business strategies. This leads to increased operational tempo with seamless integration into an already well-oiled workflow. Precision Hawk's plug-and-play sensors allow for endless customization. Choose from a wide array of high-resolution smart sensors that best suit your data needs.
It's something that we really pride ourselves on, is being able to support a wide variety of data collection tools.
Onboard visual sensors snap aerial imagery at sub 1 centimeter per pixel, capturing even the smallest details. Multispectral and hyperspectral sensors depict images in hundreds of bands of light, exposing problem areas otherwise invisible to the human eye.
When they want data, they can go outside, throw the bird, and right when it comes back, they can directly visualize their data right then and there.
Obtain topographic surveys, volume calculations, and rapid mapping data, even over the most treacherous and remote terrain. Our mission is to provide clients with more efficient and accurate data that leads to better decision-making.
The better the quality information you can give them, then the better the decisions that they can make across the board.
Whatever your industry, trust your data to Precision Hawk.
Hi, my name's Brian Urch. I'm the Principal Investigator for the Rapid Information Overlay Technology, otherwise known as RIOT, and today we're going to show a cyber tracking demonstration where we've integrated 4 social networking websites, Facebook, Twitter, Gowalla, and Foursquare, and we're going to track one of our own employees. So here you see the RIOT object browser, and we're going to type the employee's name in, Nick Knies, and that's going to return back a list of objects which meet that search criteria. And we're particularly interested in this second object. We see Facebook ID, Twitter username, Gowalla username, and we're going to expand the list of methods supported by this object. The second method, get locations, we're going to click on that, and that's going to return back in a KML file a list of all the places where Nick has checked in using his smartphone. So we're now going to click on that link, and that's going to open the KML file. And you can see that Nick has spent a lot of his time checking in up in the Mid-Atlantic and then also down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and then a few places in between. So we're going to turn this off and jump back into RIOT. And we're going to go and get photos. One of the things we've noticed is that when people take pictures and post them on the internet using their smartphones, that the phone will actually embed the latitude and longitude into the EXIF header data of that image. So we're going to take advantage of that by bringing down all the pictures where Nick has checked in and then placing those on Google Earth. So let's click on that link. Again, it'll bring down a KML file, and we'll post them up on Google Earth. And we'll zoom in here to Washington National Park. And that'll bring back a picture of Nick. And so now we know where Nick has gone, and we know now what Nick looks like. So now we know where Nick's going, we know what he looks like. Now we want to try to predict where he may be in the future. So we're going to go ahead and call this this get top places method. It's a very basic analytic, but it's going to return back a pie chart that'll show us the top 10 places that Nick checks in. And you can see here the gym is the top place, followed closely by Dallas-Fort Worth. So we're going to analyze the place. So we're going to type in place equals gym, and then username Nick Knies. And this is going to go out to Gowalla and Foursquare and bring back all the check-ins and do some analysis on them. So we're going to go ahead and click on View Graphs. And this brings back check-ins by month. You can see here that he's checked in the most in June at the gym. I guess he's getting ready for the beach season, working on a six-pack. You can also see that the check-ins by day, Monday is the highest day, followed closely by Wednesday. And then here's the most interesting. If you look in check-ins by hour, 6 a.m. appears to be obviously the most frequently visited time at the gym. So if you ever did want to try to get a hold of Nick, or maybe get a hold of his laptop, you might want to visit the gym at 6 a.m. on Monday. Now, one last thing we want to show is the graphical Riot object browser. We can type Nick in here, and this will bring back Nick's object, and we can click on that, and that will go out and bring back all the associations for that object. And this is also another way, if you're trying to track somebody in cyberspace. You can see Nick is shouting out in Twitter to different users. You can also see some phone numbers that are linked in with this. So the graphical object browser is a good way to kind of visualize the relationships between all your objects. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. It's brian.urch@raytheon.com. Thanks.
Reporting forces on the ground, a Predator team mistook a convoy of Afghan civilians, including women and children, for militants. The pilot asks, "Is that a rifle?" The answer is, "Can't really tell." After hours of monitoring, the ground commander calls in a strike. And 23 civilians die, in part because of limitations of the sensors. But engineers are working to create new sensors that can see more in greater detail than ever before.
Today, we've developed sensors that can watch with an all-seeing eye and see an area about the size of a small city, all at one time.
This is the next generation of surveillance. For the first time, we actually have permission from the government to show the basic capabilities. It is important for the public to know that some of these capabilities exist.
Engineer Yanis Antoniadis designed the new sensor, known as Argus. With 1.8 billion pixels, it's the world's highest resolution camera. Argus fits inside this pod that attaches to the belly of a UAV. But because much of the work is classified, we can't see the sensor itself.
Because we are not allowed to expose some of the pieces that make up the sensors, so you get to look at pretty plastic curtains.
Also known as wide area persistent stare, Argus is the equivalent of having up to 100 predators look at an area the size of a medium-sized city at once. This image was taken 17,500 feet above Quantico, Virginia, and covers 15 square miles.
This whole image is at a very, very fine resolution. So if we wanted to know what is going on in any spot along this image, say near this building at this intersection, we can generate a moving image that shows what's going on in the area.
Simply by touching the screen, Antoniades has opened up a window showing a detailed area, while still maintaining the broader context.
And everything that is a moving object is being automatically tracked. The color boxes represent that the computer has recognized the moving objects. You can see individuals crossing the street. You can see individuals walking in parking lots. There's actually enough resolution to be able to see the people waving their arms or walking around, what kind of clothes they wear. And you could pick the location of where you produce these images anywhere in the entire field of view.
Antoniades can open up to 65 windows at once and can see objects as small as 6 inches on the ground.
From even 17,500 feet, the white thing that you see flying around is a bird.
Argus streams live to the ground and also stores everything, 1 million terabytes of video a day, which is the equivalent of 5,000 hours of high-definition footage.
So you can go back and say, I would like to see what happened at this particular location 3 days, 2 hours, 4 minutes ago, and it would actually show you exactly what happened as if you were watching it live.
To create the world's highest definition camera, Antoniades needed to design a new imaging chip. But DARPA, the project's funder, wanted to move fast and keep costs down. So he borrowed technology that most people have in their pockets.
Inside this cell phone, okay, we find a tiny little camera. So if you were to take off the majority of it, you'd be left with an imaging chip. If you were to take 368 of these and make a big mosaic out of them and start shooting images, now you have Argus.
Unlike the Predator camera that limits field of view, Argus melds together video from each of its 368 chips to create a 1.8 billion pixel video stream. This makes it possible to zoom in and still see tremendous detail. Whether Argus has been deployed in the field is classified.
I'm not at liberty to discuss plans with the government, but if we had our choice, we would like Argus to be over the same area 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's not very easily achievable with manned platforms. This is where UAVs come in, and they're absolutely the perfect platform.
Argus may be mounted on an armed UAV like the Predator, a long-range platform like the giant Global Hawk, or a development craft called the Solar Eagle that may someday stay aloft for years at a time.
The U.S. Air Force right now has the ability to archive every single video that comes off of every single UAV. We're moving to an increasingly electronic society where our movements are going to be tracked.